Selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center Outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hey there, Congresswoman Kat Kamak here, your conservative voice in our nation's capital. I'm so proud to be an advocate for the over 65,000 veterans here in North Central Florida. The new Ocala VA clinic is now open, providing important primary care and specialty services. If you're a veteran in the Ocala area, thank you for your service. Feel free to get in touch with our team by visiting us online at camac.house.gov. I'm Kat Kamak, and it is my honor to serve you.
This ad is paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
It's bow time. Ever taste something so good you just get hooked? Like the Bo Jangler, the only fish sandwich splashed with Bo's famous seasoning. So we're having a fish fry, Bojangle style, spicing up premium fish fillets with the good stuff and slathering them with melty cheese and tangy tartar sauce to hook your taste buds with just one bite. Reel in a Bojangler today, only at Bojangles.
Catch the Bojangler at 4828 Southwest College Road here in Ocala.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talk. On a Friday, Galen Unaw from Life South joins us thanks to good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions about Palm Garden, give them a call at 352-854-6262. That's 352-854-6262. Penn Flooring, we'd also like to thank them. They're family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. Penn Flooring is a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solutions for your flooring needs, both commercial and residential. Go see their amazing showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. And, of course, JustShip.net. They just opened a brick-and-mortar storefront, so now not only can you call them and have your items picked up, but if you're out and about and want to drop your items off, you can do so by going and visiting them at 811 North Magnolia. Just Ship. They flipped the script on shipping. Now back to Life South, Galen. You know, Galen, there's a small golf tournament going on north of us, about 4.5, 5 hours. And yesterday, Eldrick Tiger Woods makes his return to golf into the Masters. He shoots 1 under, right in the mix of everything. But today, some serious changes to the golf course because it's sunny, it's breezy, and it's 49 degrees in Augusta right now.
Yeah, he'll be playing in the afternoon, so
High's supposed to be 62 today in Augusta.
Yeah, and so he'll be fine
with wind.
Actually, that's a benefit. I don't know how much you watched of that. I watched far too much while I was at work.
I must confess, I was so busy yesterday with things that I had to do and all that I actually not a second of the Masters did I watch.
Wow,
I'm disappointed in myself, to be honest with you.
Well, it was an easy 71. Easy at Augusta's hard to say, but it was a smooth 71. Tiger Woods is the greatest putter inside of 10 feet in the history of the game.
I won't argue with that.
And every little 3 or 4 footer that he had was center cup, rolling right into the heart. And his confidence in that stroke is unbelievable. I also watched a lot of, and by the way, my guy DJ right there in second place. Your guy John Rahm may not make the cut.
I see
so
that.
We got that.
Where is John Rahm? I can't even find him on the leaderboard. He's so low down.
He finished +2. But Jordan Spieth, his swing is terrible. wow.
I just think
it's
he's
gotten
got.
worse.
I think John Rahm's +2 with Billy Horschel, Patrick Reed, Seamus Powers, Adam Scott, Zach Johnson, bunch of people at -2. Former Masters winner Mike Weir, Padraig Harrington, a lot of people at +2. Jordan Spieth, I think, really, say what you want, he's not been the same golfer since he dumped 2 in the water at 12 and lost his lead and lost the Masters 4 years ago.
He's got the
Galen?
swing.
There you are.
Oh, did I lose you?
There you
All
are.
right. His pre-shot routine changes like throughout the round of golf,
Which makes no sense
and he
to me.
just thinks about things, and you could hear him just this internal debate with him and his caddy. At some point, just grab a club and hit the ball.
Are you
You've been playing
surprised?
golf since you were 4.
Are you surprised that Koepka, DeChambeau, and Justin Thomas are Koepka's +3, Shambo and Thomas are
Yeah.
+4?
I don't think Brooks Koepka hit a fairway yesterday. I mean,
And I don't care
boy,
how
he
long you
was-
hit it.
he was
You
flying
don't
it.
you hit it in the pines at Augusta. I don't care how long you hit it. It can be troublesome.
he was just everywhere. I mean, I think, he got his money worth at Augusta because he saw the entire venue yesterday.
Yeah.
He was right on one hole, and then the next hole, he darn near snap hooked it into the patron. Oh, he was terrible.
Sanjay N is leading it at 5 under. Then you got Cameron Smith at 4 under. Then you have a host of golfers at 3 under. One including
Cameron
the number
Smith
one.
is going to.
One of them including
Cameron
the number
Smith.
one player in the world, Scotty Scheffler, at 3 under.
Sure.
So they're tied for third. Dustin Johnson's tied for third, not second.
Yeah, if you're playing well going into Augusta, you're going to play well. That's always been the
A
case.
guy who aced a hole in the par 3 in the par 3 tournament, Jason Kokrak, 2 under. Who
Good
knew?
name.
Who knew?
Good name. And a lot of these guys will fall. I don't think it was going to make it very long. He just made some. He had some par saves, and I'm like, that should be a double bogey. So.
That, in 1 under, where Tiger's at 1 under, 4 shots off the lead at the Masters, that could be one bad swing.
Sure.
A 4-stroke
That's
swing
absolutely
could happen
correct.
with one swing.
That's correct.
So, and you got to figure, Cameron Smith is a tough golf out. He just is. And Danny Willett's played good golf before. Scotty Scheffler's up on the leaderboard. Dustin Johnson's up above him, and Patrick Cantlay's up above him. But other than that, I know there's some other names up there, but Tiger, when you think about marquee names and all, Danny Willett's not a marquee name. He just happens to play consistent golf. Cameron Smith's just coming into his own. Scotty Scheffler's a marquee name now. He wasn't a year ago. The only really huge marquee name above Tiger's that he's, is Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, and again, Cameron Smith, I at the end of the day, I'm like, boy, he just held it together. He struggled a lot. I think that it's Augusta. He hasn't won a tournament, right? I don't think he's won. I think he's in trouble. I don't know how long he can keep that going.
I thought he won, didn't he win? Yeah, he won.
Did he?
Didn't he win? I thought he won Arnie's tournament.
Maybe. Is that right? Yeah. I don't think he's.
No.
I don't think
Who won the Players tournament? Cameron Smith did.
Oh,
That's who won the Players.
That's
Cameron
one of
Smith
my-
won the Players. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
Cameron
right.
Smith won the Players. He's won before, Galen. He won the Players championship.
Yeah, he's won a big one. That's my bad. Yeah, I watched his game, and he was always on the precipice of complete and utter disaster. So, but by the way, that's Augusta.
By the way, unless you're in the middle of the fairway at Augusta, you're always on the precipice of disaster.
And I don't, again, Dustin, and that's what Tiger did, and Dustin did the same thing. He had a couple of, you're going to have some shots where he just saved par. But the rest is fairways and greens. Fairways and greens.
Hideki
And
Matsuyama.
Tiger.
Hideki,
he played well.
Yeah, he's at even. He's the champ. He's at even. Will Zalatoris, my guy, still 1 under. You know, Will Zalatoris and Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm may not make the cut, but my other 2 guys will.
Sure.
And Mr. I wore shorts on the putting green until somebody told me I couldn't. Taylor Gooch, even par.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Where's our Augusta? Where's our Ocala guy? Let's see where Ian where Oosthuizen is. See how he played yesterday.
He played with Tiger.
Yeah, but how did he play?
I thought he was +1.
Let's go look at the plus ones.
I thought he was.
Shane Lowry, Christian. I'm not seeing him at the +1, but that doesn't mean he's not there. Yeah, he's not +1.
All right.
Let's go see if I saw him at even. But he's the Ocala guy. He's our Ocala reference now in the tournament because he bought a farm here. So we always got to give you an update on Oosthuizen because he now lives here. He bought him a farm. He's a farmer.
He's +4. He's +4. There you go.
Oh, that's not good. He's down there with DeChambeau and Justin Thomas, and the greatest name in golf, Bernhard Langer.
God, I would hate to be in. Can you imagine if they pair up Longer and Chambly? They may not finish the round.
Oh, yeah. You mean DeChambeau?
DeChambeau, I'm sorry, yeah.
The round may never. They may have to finish on Saturday, and take 6 penalty strokes for being on the clock. Did you see Matthew? Did you see Matthew Wolff's meltdown?
No, I missed that.
He's snapping clubs and everything. He was not happy.
Man, that course will do it to you.
He +9.
That'll do it to you.
Opening round +9.
You know, another guy who's got a chance of winning this tournament is Tony Finau.
Yes,
His
he's at even.
game
He's at even.
Is really, really interesting for this golf course. Yeah, and again, he's a guy that everybody got to know during the big break.
Well, remember he dislocated. Remember at the Masters, he dislocated his ankle, popped it back in the par 3, and then came back and almost won the golf tournament that weekend.
Yeah, he's -1. He goes off at 2:00 today. So, I'm kind of excited about today.
I'm looking forward. I'm going to get a little golf in today. I didn't get any in yesterday, but I'm going to get a little in today. But you're right. When we're talking about, this golf course, Matthew Wolff, everybody says that he's going to be an up-and-comer, with that kooky swing he's got and everything. He's won a couple golf tournaments and everything. The Masters brought him back to reality yesterday, +9. By the way, the guy in dead last, well, he should be. I mean, how old is this guy? He's +10, but he's a past winner. I didn't even realize he was still alive. Sandy Lyle. I didn't even realize he was still alive.
Well, Sandy Lyle, that's his claim to fame. He's going to he won the TPC, and so he used to always come to the TPC, and he would always talk about, I will play the Masters until they tell me I can't. Vijay Singh's still out there. So,
Sandy Lyle's older than BJ Singh.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Sandy Lyle's like 162.
Sandy Lyle was one of the players on Sega's 16-bit European golf.
Sure.
Sandy Lyle was one of those guys. That game came out in like 1987.
But again, look, Tom, you would switch spots with him in about now, in a nanosecond.
Oh, dead air. Right now, dead air.
I'm sorry, me and Sandy are playing.
Yeah.
And by the way, the guy's 64 and shot +10 at Augusta in a professional track. He's probably 60 yards behind his partner.
Yeah, Tom Watson was 61 or 62 in the conversation for the weekend one time. Calm down.
Yeah, you're
Tom Watson.
I'm not gonna. It's Augusta. You're not going to get me to not think that Sandy Lyle doesn't belong.
You know something that kind of went under the radar, and I thought, but it's perfect for who he is did you see what Gary Player wore when he did when he was the honoree, one of the honorees teeing off? Did you see what he was wearing?
No.
He wore a branded sweatshirt representing the Saudi Super Golf League.
He's part
I know.
He's one of the
back, right. But it didn't get much play, and I thought it would get much bigger play here because of the Phil Mickelson controversy and all. But then Gary Player's a worldwide ambassador of the game. So that's the one guy you would think that would be hawking other golf leagues and everything because he's the worldwide ambassador. But I just found it that, once again, it shows what you said yesterday on this show. The Masters doesn't care. They don't care about any controversies going on.
No.
They don't worry about anything outside of once you enter those gates on Magnolia, they could care less.
Yeah, they're going to talk about the history. They're going to talk about the prestige. They're going to talk about the beautiful ground, how it was once a nursery, and all of these other things. It's interesting. I'm watching Sandy Lyle putt right now, live on Masters.org, which is by far and away the best website for any event. Yeah, I am working my butt off today.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it just reiterates what you said. When this tournament starts, nothing in the golf world matters to the people, to the green jackets. Nothing in the golf world matters except what's going on behind those gates. That's all they care about. That's all they worry about. The PGA doesn't exist to them. The European Golf League, the European Tour doesn't exist. The Saudi Golf League, none of it exists. All exists is we invited 90 players to the Masters, and that's all we care about.
But isn't that?
It's
that
great.
refreshing?
It is fantastic.
And shouldn't more people do that? Like, look, you know who it's like Bill Belichick does this. He's like, well, he's not on our team. He's not here. I'm not going to talk about somebody who's not here. That's the way you should handle all this stuff. You know? And again, kudos to Augusta for doing that and not allowing the outside world. You're not going to hear about the Ukrainian-Russian thing going on or the Ukrainians shooting Russian POWs. During that telecast, I can guarantee
And
that.
I tell you what else you're not going to hear. You're not going to see breaking news at all. You're not going to see anybody with their phones out taking pictures like you do at every other golf tournament. Because literally, as you walk in the gates, if you have your phone, here's the options they give you. They say, we have lockers over there that you can rent to put your phone in, or you can take it back to your car, but you're not coming in the gates with that phone.
Sure.
And
if they see you while you're walking around, apparently they'll tell you the same thing. They'll escort you.
Oh, you will. If somehow you get the phone past them, and then they see it in the national, you will be escorted out. And whoever's badge you're using, if it's somebody's badge you're using, and everything, they get in trouble for it too.
Love it. It's their space. It's a private event. Let them do whatever it is they want them to do.
Try them and run. See what happens then.
That's correct. Love that. I do. Again, I love that. So
it is the most hallowed golf tournament and on the most hallowed grounds. Remember, Scotland has old Tom Morris and young Tom Morris. We got Bobby Jones, and Bobby Jones created this tournament. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. All you need to know. A guy who was a lawyer that stopped playing golf at the height of his career because he said it's making my law practice suffer.
Well, yeah, and again, the Legend of Bagger Vance?
Yeah.
Is he in that one? It's a terrible movie. Maybe the worst golf swing in movie history is by my man Matt Damon.
Okay, by the way, not Matt Damon's golf swing.
Whoever's it is.
It's a guy named Christopher who was a bartender at Legends Bar and Grill in Statesboro, Georgia. It was on the Georgia Southern golf team, and he went and got hired because he was cheap and available. And he wasn't even the number one player on the golf team. He was like the number 4 or 5 player on the golf team. But he got to be the stand-in and do all the shadowy swings, where you see. All of those are done by a guy named Chris that was on the Georgia Southern golf team. Because they filmed it right there, and they filmed some of it in Statesboro and some of it in Savannah, and some of it in Hilton Head.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably.
And we all made fun. We were like, dude, that's the ugliest golf swing we've ever seen. He's like, I'm on the golf team, you're not. Well, it's still an ugly golf swing, and you're on the Georgia Southern golf team. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, pal.
It's still pretty good.
Well, it was
now,
in the 70s.
It
was really good in the 70s when, Jody Mudd played there and everything. It was pretty good then. And it's better now, but when I was in school there in the 90s, it wasn't a whole lot to write home about, pal. Just wasn't.
Love it.
But, yeah, it's an ugly, ugly swing. And that's a terrible movie. And even Will Smith's star and Matt Damon's star couldn't save that movie. It was not a good movie.
I mean, by the way, I've watched it 652 times. So it's still a movie that you just get locked in on,
but,
right?
You know what my favorite, everybody's got their favorite golf movies, and of course Caddyshack and Tin Cup. But when you take those two out of it, The Greatest Game Ever Played is still my favorite golf movie.
Yeah, it's because the acting's pretty good, and they do a really nice job of structuring it.
Right.
I respect that. Maybe I'd have to. I mean, Caddyshack.
Well, Caddyshack's the best.
Still,
yeah, it's still. But when you take Caddyshack and Tin Cup out of it, and Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah, I was like, there's just more.
One more, Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
One of the greatest memes I've ever. In memes you see tons of them now. About 2 years ago, somebody sent me a meme that said, "Look, it's a photo of the greatest golfer ever." And Tiger Woods, and it was the actor who played Shooter McGavin was in the picture with Tiger Woods.
Sure.
The greatest golfer ever, and Tiger Woods. Hey, by the way, Shooter McGavin may be the greatest golfer's name ever.
Yeah, they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
You are not wrong.
I mean, it's a fictitious name, but Shooter McGavin. I mean, Shooter McGavin. If that was an actual name for a golfer, that'd be right up there with Dick Trickle of NASCAR. Right up there with that.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Dick Trickle's next level.
Dick Trickle might be the greatest name in sports ever.
And it came at a perfect time when ESPN, Sports Center, was much-watched TV, and you watched it 6 or 7 times. So,
you watched it over and over and over.
Sure, absolutely. I have no problem with that.
That may be the greatest sports name ever. And, it was so good. And he was such a bad NASCAR driver that they used him as the driver, and they put Cole Trickle on the car. So because he was always a half a lap behind, so it wouldn't get in the way of the race.
Correct.
And they could use actual races to film the movie.
That's absolutely right. It's true.
It's true.
It's very true.
That's as accurate as it gets.
Yeah.
So in actuality, Cole Trickle was terrible. He was terrible. Flat spot tires with 10 laps to go. Don't go in and get a change of tires and then come back and win the race.
Come on, don't start. Don't start. Trying to make this work for you. It's just not.
Oh, it's what got me hooked on NASCAR. Because I, as a little kid, was hooked on NASCAR because my dad was. But then through my teenage years and my 20s, I was like, they're just going in a circle. They end up the same place they started. Who wants to watch this? And then Days of Thunder came along. And I was like, wow. So I started watching NASCAR again, and then I was like, well, they lied to me. You can't flat spot your tires with 10 laps to go and come back to the front. But NASCAR didn't care. The movie got me back in front of the TV. That's all they worried about.
Absolutely.
That's all they worried about.
That's pretty great.
So obviously, we know you've already started your Masters coverage today. We heard that as you were describing Sandy Lyle putting.
I haven't watched F1 practice yet. I'll tune that in here. I'm not getting anything done today.
No.
That's why. By the way, that's why you have multiple screens in the office. Is so you can work.
Yeah.
You have one screen for work, one for me. Yeah, one's for me, one's for work today.
Final story of the day, got about 45 seconds. I know this probably isn't even on your radar, but there's a legendary rock and roll band that is getting back together all the original members that are still alive, even the ones that don't get along.
This popped up on my feed, and it's not a rock and roll band, but go ahead.
By the way, it is a very good rock and roll band. And
Maybe
after
it's not
nearly
who I thought
30
it was.
years of not being together,
it's not the Backstreet Boys.
because David Gilmour and Roger Waters can't stand each other, but they're getting back together to do a new recording to raise money for Ukraine. Pink Floyd will make a one-off recording after nearly 30 years apart because they can't get along.
It's going to be terrible.
But they're
It's going to be terrible, which is unfortunate.
Oh, it's probably going to be a horrible song because they're 150 years old.
Yeah.
But it's still Pink Floyd. I'd still go watch them today, just like I would watch the Rolling Stones. So,
I'd go see Boston.
Well, I love Boston too. Good band, good band. Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Duran. Hey, today we're actually in Bellevue, so come check us out there at the Winn-Dixie. And you're going to be able to find us all over the place. We've been hit pretty hard by all this weather. Has really hurt our blood supply. So,
and also right there on the boulevard.
Yeah, absolutely, right there at the boulevard. Be careful on the roads. Lots of Canadians and snowbirds heading home in the left lane.
Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye, y'all.
While we may disagree a lot, we do agree.
In Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet, I'm Clint Thompson in for Tyron Spearman. Soon it will be planting season for peanut growers in the Southeast. Industry leaders are ready to provide last-minute tips for farmers preparing to plant their crop. Ken Barton, Executive Director of the Florida Peanut Producers Association, reminds farmers about the importance of not planting their crop too early.
One of the things that I would recommend to our growers is to be sure and watch that soil temperature as we move into planting season, and let's don't jump the gun, because we want to get those seed in some soil with temperatures that's